again.
Yeah. So and PubMed is like a pretty like high accepted type deal.
Yeah, so PubMed is basically Google for a lot of different healthcare articles and published articles that are peer reviewed and made sure that like they're not lying about something. And if it finds out that they are fudging data one way or another, that those articles get redacted and cut out. So it's just basically a big search engine of a bunch of different healthcare journals.
Yeah. So what it's saying is like they're not really sure, and like you said, cold plunge, cold bath has been there for a long time.
Yeah,
It's
long.
not like we just created it in like 2020 and we're like, oh man, this is awesome. Like getting in cold water is gonna make me feel better. Like
Right.
it's been
It's
there
not.
forever.
No one reinvented the wheel when they talked about. All right, this is the cool. This is the next thing to do to help your rehab.
Right. Um, so I remember when you were in high school and you would and myself I and you sprained your ankle in football, which like so many people did, and you'd always see a bunch of people in the cold tub, foot in the cold tub for 10-15 minutes after practice.
Right.
um, what is it? Was there a benefit to what we did there? Did that help anything, or is it back to like that idea of like maybe it helped, maybe it didn't?
Yeah. So that gets a little bit different into like different of cold water tub for post training and then cold
Right.
water ice for an injury.
Yeah, because what you were kind of referring to there was just kind of like, I'm sore, I'm gonna jump in the cold tub type deal.
Right. Yeah.
So in that sense, it's like could help you, could not really sure.
hmm
But for injuries,
For injuries, ice is a really good painkiller.
mm,
So it will decrease pain of that area. As far as what it does physiologically, what it does inside your body, that's not as well researched and that's not as well as researched. It's just not well backed into saying, all right, this is 100% what we need to do.
right? It
So,
seems like you talk to 10 people and you get five different opinions on one. Half the people saying ice is good, half the people saying ice is bad.
yeah, I mean, you go across the board, it's going to be like, yeah, some people swear by it, some people won't use it at all.
Mm.
And both have articles that they can look back at and be like, hey, look, like this is right, this is wrong, whatever. We just got to kind of find the articles that we believe in, read what they have to say, what methods they used, what population they used. And that's the thing with all articles. If you want to have it solely look at you, if you look at the population used and it's very similar to what you are, chances are that you are going to fall into the results of that study as well. So we kind of got to own our own medicine and figure out what's going to be the best for us. And
Yeah, I think what you just said there is massively important. You just said own your own medicine. I think
mhm,
so many people just blindly talk to people and expect them to tell you like what is the best for you. You kind of got to do that on your own, and you got to test and trial different things. Like I got hurt, so this time I'm going to use ice, but maybe I got hurt in a different way. I'm going to use heat and see how I respond to it.
yeah,
Because I feel like it has a lot to do with like how your body responds to different things.
exactly. Yeah, depend. I mean, everyone's a little bit different, but if you can find someone that has characteristics that are similar to you, you can at least give that a try with a strong feeling that you're going to yield similar results to them. So don't just blindly say like, well, hey, one guy that I really like and I follow, he does a cold tub every day, or this one guy hates cold tubs that I follow and I love, so
And he's all in the sauna, right?
I'm not
Complete
going to
opposite.
step in. Exactly.
And then you got other people that are like, oh, you should do both. You should go and like jump in the ice bath and then the sauna and then the ice bath and the sauna back and
Right.
forth. So like, so many different people are so many different ways, and I think that you got to test it out yourself at the end of the day.
Give yourself.
But I do think that either way, whether you want to be ice tub, whether you want to be sauna, whether you want to be back and forth, I think both massively help your mental game,
Yeah.
mental fortitude of being able to handle those uncomfortable situations. So in my opinion, just based on the mental side of it, you should get into cold or really warm, either one. You should. You should just get into those uncomfortable situations. And I like the cold because I don't really like the cold in the sense. So like I do it because I don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
And I use those cold showers for my mental side of things.
Yeah.
Maybe it helps, maybe it doesn't.
And there's one article that I want to bring up by Peak and Roberts and a few other authors talking about the effects of cold water immersion and active recovery on inflammation and cell stress responses. And what they found out is they had a control group of people doing nothing. They had some people get in the cold water immersion tub, and they had some people just doing active recovery. And they found that, the cold water immersion had some of the effects that were being talked about, getting the muscular temperature down and getting some vasoconstriction, and it helped yield better results in the control group. But compared to the active recovery group, they had the same results. So they had the same increases in performance as the cold water immersion and active recovery, and both of those beat the control group in that. So
do something is what
do
you're saying.
something, right? So
Because active recovery kind of gets your body warm.
Mm-hmm.
Ice bath gets your body cold.
Yeah.
Both help.
So, and that's gonna kind of be dealer's choice of if you really hate cold. Say you have, and you want to even go further in the spectrum. Say you have Raynaud's, where it's you can't deal with heat or cold in either extreme, or you start to really cause damage to your distal extremities. And you're like, well, I can't do cold, but everyone's saying cold is the number one thing to do. Well, active recovery would be right up that person's alley. And in the same breath, for people that you don't have to have Raynaud's to not be able to do cold. If you just hate the cold, some people don't like cold water. So active recovery is still going to yield good results. So after you're done with your workout, don't just finish your last rep and be like, all right, I'm just going to lay down, do nothing for the rest of the day. Do something, and you are going to improve your results vastly.
Do something.
Do it.
I'm in. Well, I think that's all we got for today. So I'm Nicholas.
And I'm Jacob. We're the Holt Perspective. Thanks for joining us today.
See ya.